Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back once again, or for the very first time, to the Farts and Crap Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host Danjo here with part 78 of Sekiro, the complete series. Hope you guys are all doing well today. And on today's episode, we are definitely finishing the Shura Gauntlet of Strength. Last episode, I did the reflection of strength to practice Inner Father. I feel like I got it pretty well. And now I'm realizing that it's been like over a week since I fought the entire gauntlet. And yeah, I've been having some stupid failures on Ishin occasionally and Demon of Hatred. And yeah, it hasn't been going great. But yeah, and unfortunately we have to fight Emma every time, which I always feel bad about, and she's not very tough. It's just depressing. But yeah, so unfortunately I fought her a bunch of times, and pretty much the same number of times I fought Demon of Hatred, but yeah, it's been not great. And this isn't necessarily the best method of fighting these guys, but I will, give my insight for a few things, I guess. And there are some similarities between Emma and Ishin, but like in how to trigger some of their more punishable moves. But yeah. Let's start with Emma. And yeah, I'm going to be using Mortal Blade a lot, so. Oh, and once again, as a reminder, I don't know if this actually showed on like the screen or whatever, but this is also the end of the third playthrough, so enemies are third playthrough difficult. And yeah, it's charmless, so yeah.
Let us begin. Shura to roam free.
Again, so sorry, Emma. But yeah, that charge attack obviously like is the most easily punchable one. And yeah, her gap closer on it is very fast, but you can kind of like exploit the tracking on it by kind of like doing a little serpentine dashing like I was doing, so. And Ishin has the same one, and basically it's the same concept. Like when you get the opportunity to Mortal Draw, follow up with the basic attack that'll usually trigger him to do a non-perfect deflect, and then you can back up and exploit his counter, basically. It's probably a good idea to mostly keep your distance on the first phase. On the second phase, stay close to him. It makes dodging his shit a lot easier.
Shura, I never did think I'd have to kill your kind again! Done, Sekiro! Sekiro, it was not to be.
And yeah. Ishini's also cool, but at least he's like down to fight. And I didn't do it last time, but be sure to rest in between fights. That's pretty freaking important. Alright, Demon of Hatred, here we go. Which, the red gourd also increases your resistance to burn, so I use that quite a bit in this one. Alright, so yeah, that was bad. Yeah, typically in the first phase when he jumps away from you, like, he's gonna throw fireballs afterwards, so it's good to use like some of the destructible terrain to soak those fireballs, or just like run away from him and sprint jump, which works pretty freaking well.
Let us begin. I cannot allow a Shura. Not yet. I cannot allow a Shura to roam free.
Again, super sorry, Emma. You're my favorite character in the game.
Shura, I never did think I'd have to kill your kind again! Done, Sekiro! Sekiro, it was not to be.
Alright, here comes the actual hard part, which is not great because now I'm limited to 1 resurrection. Which might be a problem, but I think I got the first phase pretty good, so hopefully it won't matter.
Very well.
Alright, that sucks. I thought that roll was always punishable. I guess it isn't in the final phase, but I mean, based on my testing, like most of the time it is. But that still sucks. Yeah.
Let us begin. I cannot allow Ashura to roam free.
Again, so sorry, Emma.
Shura. I never did think I'd have to kill your kind again! to be.
And I don't know why it's doing this, but capture is actually like starting to be kind of messed up a little bit, so I'm just gonna reset it real quick. I think it's starting to lag. There we go. Oh, it's gone. All right, there we go. Probably because this whole process of trying to get this video done with beat this gauntlet has taken like hours and hours and hours. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I can't do any more episodes of this. I have to like actually have success on the next episode. Like I have to, because I already did one where I tried out. I did one where we practiced the last thing. Like, yeah, this one has to have the success. So, yeah. Otherwise, you guys would have got like 10 episodes of this. Sorry, just had to get some water real quick, and also I didn't take any damage on the first phase, so that's personal best, I think. Just wanted to point that out.
defeated by my own son. The feeling is not entirely unpleasant.
Third playthrough, Charmless, Shura Gauntlet. Wait, automatic? What? What? Oh, because rewards, right. It automatically takes you out of it for the rewards. They got me. I was like, wait, is it not actually over? Fuck. Secret third phase? Ugh. Memory, inner father. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe, lingering in the mind of the wolf. Commune with the sculptor's idol and confront memories of battle to permanently increase attack power. Deep within the mind, father stirred. The man wolf confronted in memory was more than Owl could have ever hoped to be. So, it was a false memory that just showing what Owl could have been? Another's memory, Shura. Memories left behind by another. Concentrate on these inmost regrets or obsessions at a sculptor's idol to change the wolf's appearance. Has no effect on ability. Memory of Shura told via Ashina folk song. Fields of bodies, mountains of dead. Down Dragon Spring River, our country bled. A fiery god, demon wolf in red. Battle memory. Oh, remnant, inner father. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe. Although distant, recollection of such a memory provided sustenance for the wolf. Owl once abandoned the young wolf in Sui Forest, expecting him to fend against the illusions, likely never to return. Only in victory would he recognize the boy as his son. In this way, and this way alone, he raised the wolf as his own. That actually happened? Okay, sure. Change wolf experience, no effect on ability. Memories of Shura, told you. Okay, that's the same description. Alright. Oh, dude, it's like the Embered effect in Dark Souls 3. So is this like, is this supposed to be the sculptor? Or is this just... I mean, it still looks like wolf's clothing. Like, why is he missing an eye, though? Like, the first Shura that Ishin put a stop to is the sculptor. Maybe this is just like wolf post Shura ending? Maybe, but it doesn't quite look like wolf. So I don't know. I mean, the sculptor is really old, and so is Ishin. So I mean, this could be like orangutan when he was younger. It's a really cool skin, though. Like, I'll give him that. Like, first one was kind of lame, but this one is pretty cool. Like, yeah, this one, I knew about this one. I've acquired this one before. And, like, it's fine, I guess, but, like, I like Wolf's original outfit a lot better. Yeah, the Shura outfit is way cooler, man. Than that one. I mean, I'm still a sucker for the original, but like, this one's pretty dope. Like, I'm actually gonna use this for a while. Sick, man. And I didn't have to use the sweet rice ball, which I was hoping I didn't have to. Because I'm pretty sure when you actually finish... Wait a minute. Actually, is it? We still have 7 of these. 162 of those in storage. Yeah, so maybe items are not consumed. Oh, well, glucose sugar is a good, easy way to check, because that's like, I have 7 of those. Or the pellets, I have 162 in storage. But, alright. So, last one we have, folks, at least for now, is Severance. I think there is a final one. Like, we haven't unlocked it yet. It's like, I think there's 4 gauntlets because there's 4 endings. And we haven't got the return ending yet, so like that's... Holy shit, are you kidding me? Bay of Tomoe. Oh, the Genichiro at the end of the game? Dude, that's easy, as long as it's the same. But I think all of the boss fights before the final one are exactly the same. True Monk is pretty easy, like... This is the one at the top of the battle, so that should be pretty simple. Guardian Ape. Yeah, I don't see this one being super hard unless, like, the final battle is like, ridiculous. But these guys along the way, as long as they're the same as, like, their, like, in-game counterparts, I don't see any of these being an issue. Like, this looks to be way easier than the Shura one, because, like, Ishin's a tough fight, Demon of Hatred is a tough fight, even before getting to Inner Father. So, I don't know, I don't think the Severance one is going to take that long, to be real. Like, not like Shura did, because... Honestly, there was... What are we at, an hour and 15? There was like... How many hours of cut footage you guys didn't see? Like 10? Maybe 12? It was a lot. It was a lot. And yeah, it's, like, the thing is, I don't think the base game of Sekiro is, like, all that difficult, to be real. Like, it's a challenge, for sure. It's a FromSoft game. But, like... It's the optional stuff that's hard. Like... like if you want to go into New Game Plus, if you want to be charmless, if you want to also have the Bell Demon, like I'm not doing that. Like we could have the Bell Demon right now and that would make shit even harder. But no, we're not doing that. Or if I wanted to do this on like the next New Game cycle, or shit, like the final difficulty tier, which is like playthrough 7, I think. Like, no. Maybe at some point we'll do that charmless, like with the Bell Demon, but that seems like, no, not something I would do as a series, because like as a series, these episodes come out every other day, and if I don't make progress, like I can't really use that as an episode unless like there's some other reason I can use it for like entertainment purposes, or you know, if we discover something cool or blah blah, whatever. It has to be something significant if no progress is made. So yeah, not gonna do that. Like maybe for streams at some point, be like, you know, try a bunch of different shit, which I mean, it's not high on my list. It's not even something I really want to do, to be real. There's a bunch of stupid challenges out there, and honestly, you can make a challenge thing out of like any game, really. But yeah, no, this is a good amount, like, especially for episodes. If it was just for streams, like, who cares? There's no, like, pressure, you know? Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the point is, I've been behind on my recording schedule for a while, and this series is part of the reason why. Like, yeah, because when I go to record other stuff, like, you know, Pokemon or Wind Waker episodes, like, no problem. But like, these still have to come out every other day, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this after this one, it's gonna be, yeah, after this next Gauntlet, we're gonna do playthrough 4 and the return ending, which will be so nice to be going back to like regular gameplay where stuff goes well and I know what to do, and you know, making episodes isn't gonna take forever. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Of course, before we get going, a very special thank you going out to the current Farts and Crap Show members, the amazing people who helped make it possible: Naval Straconis, Aaron Schick, and 97 Johnny Boy. Thank you so very much for choosing to support the show a bit more directly via channel membership. It vastly helps out. Very much appreciate it, and it is very much optional, so you guys are extra awesome for doing so. And if you guys like content like this and you want to support the show in a more directly like these amazing people, check out that join button down below. There's also a link in the description that talks about becoming a channel member that does the same thing. Like, I get it, times are tough. If you can afford it, like, you know, it makes a big difference, and it's very much appreciated. And before we talk about membership tiers, quick little word on YouTube handles. That is why 97 Johnny Boy is an @ symbol in front of his screen name there. That is a handle. So they're unique identifiers on YouTube that help with a number of things, namely navigation. And he has a channel of his own. It's great stuff. Highly recommend it, which you can easily go check out just by going to youtube.com/@97johnnyboy, and it'll take you straight there because, yeah, handles make URLs a lot shorter. You can also punch a handle into YouTube search. It will narrow down your results significantly, and handles are also 100% unique, so it's another way to double check and make sure you're in the right place. But yeah, membership tiers on this channel start at $3 a month. That's only 10 cents a day. Gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series that get made here on the channel via the members' choice polls. It's a thing we do once a month for a full 7 days over on the membership tab, and that is how all of the series get decided. But seeing as May is the anniversary month for the channel, we are going to do a second members' choice poll this month, and I don't know when it's going to be. It might be running the same week as the other one, or it might be running the third week of the month, and then the main one. Yeah, it might be one after the other, or they might both run during the same week. But members' choice polls have been the last week of the month for a while now, so we're probably going to do one of them on the last week of the month, at least. But this is an approximation of future announcements from the past, so if you want all the announcements as they happen and the bell doesn't work for you, I get it, the bell does not work for me either, but there are 4 other ways you can stay up to date. We have the posts tab here on the channel, the Farts and Crap Show Twitter, the Bluesky, and the Discord. I always post on all 4 whenever there's an announcement, so regardless of which one of those works for you, you can stay up to date. And links for those are down in the description, also on the channel banner. But yeah, that's gonna do it for now. So thank you all once again for being here, guys. Till next time, take care, and I hope you all have an amazing day.